And we are back to the Biel's International Chess Festival, 56th edition. Today is International Chess Day, and we have our second result in the round 3, and it's decisive result. We are having Vincent Keymer here with us. Congratulations, Vincent.
Thank you very much.
Quite an amazing game, quite amazing result. And you are now the leader, actually, of Grandmaster Triathlon so far.
Yeah, I think Navarro won't lose this, but
yeah,
I mean, it's very good to have won this game. Le Quang, I think he hasn't lost a game in a long time, and also won the first 2 games, so that's certainly an important thing for me.
So what was happening out of the opening? Maybe you could share us something from your preparation.
Some theory.
Yeah.
I think that's nothing special yet. Of course, I was kind of happy to see DC4. I mean, after Castle, it's much more difficult to get like a interesting game.
Very happy about the C6 that he played?
No, just DC4. Like if he just castles, it's rather symmetrical and hard for White to show some interesting ideas. Of course, I would have tried something, but still, like DC4, it's different. And yeah, I think main move here is like Queen C2 and these kind of lines. Yeah, which I didn't choose for the game. I wanted to play Knight C3, and yeah, I know that now Black has mostly 2 choices, either to take on C3 or to go Knight D6. And he chose this one, which I think is kind of fine, but here it's not. I think at least Black really has to be precise to equalize, and I didn't go that deep in this line because you have to prepare a lot. And but I remember seeing on the screen, some line with A5 and then Queen A4, Rook D1, Knight D4, and Rook A2, which then also happened in the game. I mean, during the game here, I was wondering for some time that actually what happens after Bishop D7, because now I'm like, for example, this wouldn't work. Here in Bishop B5 and then Knight D2, Knight C3. So I was thinking about Queen C4, but yeah, I mean, I'm not even sure. Like there was Knight A5 here too. I mean, of course, I can go DC5, but this is like a very interesting position. So like during the game, I was not so sure that maybe Bishop D7 would have actually been an interesting move, but okay, it's like also went quite fast, and he played CD4. And here I knew that Knight D4 should be the move. And yeah, I think Bishop G4 is very natural. Like I'm kind of threatening A6, Rook B8, there might be Bishop F4 when maybe he can sacrifice in exchange with B5, but still Bishop G4 is very natural. And yeah, I assume that he expected me to just take and defend it, and probably would have played something like this or pushing the B pawn. And yeah, White might be like a tiny little bit better, but I think it's very solid for Black, and normally a draw.
Yeah, you help him to bring the Rook out.
Yeah, exactly. And here it's kind of tricky for him to find a good move. I mean, I think I remember that Rook A2 was a move, but I was not sure, so that's also why I spent some time to make sure. I mean, it's like, I let the C4 pawn live, so I would better be sure that it really is interesting. And yeah, I mean, Rook C8, of course, is very principled, but after that it gets very complicated, the position. I mean, A6.
But what have you expected if not Rook C8?
I mean, of course,
was there a way he could
B8
protect?
Maybe, yeah, like a more solid option. And then after both Bishop F4 or Queen C4, there's just coming B5 in both cases. So again, might be like a tiny little bit more present for me, but I would have been kind of, I think it's already kind of a rather pleasant outcome. Nowadays it's so tough to even get a normal game out of the opening if the opponent is well prepared. That here at least it's very interesting. After Rook C8, I also felt that I have maybe already very serious chances for advantage. So yeah, this is of course a very nice construction with pawn on A6, Bishop B7, and yeah, if I would get what I got in the game, it's kind of nice. I mean, of course, here I had to calculate E5, which is kind of very tricky. I mean, first I thought I would want to take with the bishop, and then Bishop E5, D E5, and then, okay, I will take the Bishop too. And then I saw C2 here, which doesn't work now because I have Rook D8, C1 Queen, and go back. But there's the trick that I think he can go for C2 here, and suddenly now I lose the piece because Rook C2, Bishop E5, I can't take anything, and Rook C1 take, and then something with Queen E2. So Bishop E5 would have been a big mistake, I think, and then I had to play D E5. And now, at some point, I started thinking about Rook D7, which looks a bit weird to put the Rook away from behind, but I think the plan would be, let's say I take, and then to take back, and there will always be like Queen C7 and G5 ideas, and I really want to get this pawn, but I mean, yeah, I don't feel like it's too dangerous for me, but still it's, during the game it was a question for me.
So already here, did you feel pleasant position, or did you felt you have...
D7, D5 for sure, yeah. Here I felt this is kind of nice, because for him it's very hard to make a move. I mean, he could have gone to H3 instead of F5, because, I mean, we can show, as in the game, he can't defend the pawn because of G4. And if the bishop would be on h3, I couldn't trap the bishop. But yeah, I mean, of course, I can always just play bishop c6 and take the exchange, which might also be very good, actually. But I like bishop e. This is maybe not so easy. That's also why I spent quite a lot of time for queen b3. And I actually spent a lot of time calculating rook b8. The idea is bishop a7 still rook b7 works now, and if rook c1, now the idea would be that I actually can take on a7 again, then bishop e5, and again, no backrank issues anymore. But I think here there was a nice idea to go rook b1, followed by queen b5 at some point. And if I get to exchange queens again, a7 will fall at some point and he will lose. And yeah, actually, I kind of missed rook d6 when playing queen b3, and of course, immediately after I played the move, I saw rook d6 will be played, but it's not too bad. Yeah, I have queen c4, and actually, I thought maybe he should just go back to d7, because yeah, I mean, there was this option to go e6, but yeah, I think this kind might be very dangerous. Yeah, this a pawn, it's very hard to stop. But rook d7 maybe was interesting. I'm not sure. I mean, I'm pretty sure the position should be bad for black, but here it's more about surviving. And also, since my time got rather at least a bit lower, I was very happy to see rook b6 now, because now I have like few moves that I can more or less automatically make without risking worsening my position. Yeah, like queen e4. Okay, I mean, stopping bishop e5, bishop d6, I think is useful. Yeah, and the bishop would like to defend some squares. And yeah, now bringing the rook to the c file. Yeah, and here it's like I have to make the decision whether to take or not to take. And I decided to take finally, because I just saw that I will get e4, f4, and e5, everything, and then it really felt like it has to be winning simply. And I mean, of course, without these pawns, I think black would have very good drawing chances. And it's not like I will win something immediately, but there's always that he has to defend. There's like one more thing, and also at some point, if the bishop might be chased around, because I can take on b6 in some lines. Yeah, that's also, for example, why he can't play bishop b6 here. Then I would like just take on e6 or go rook c6 immediately, and I have like a double attack. And yeah, then here I was feeling like it's very good chances to win already the game, because this e6 pawn I will just fix it, and basically at some point I will win it, and then all my pawns will start running. So then also it was very nice that I didn't have that much time, but here you don't need a huge amount of time. You just make sure not to run into some mating net, and then I think...
And not to trade the rooks.
Yeah, I mean, at least as long as I didn't get the pawn on e6, but yeah, I mean, exchanging rooks is not something I would be very happy about, for sure. I mean, this king is now also in huge trouble, and yeah, I think he realized that, yeah, I mean, after rook f2, I mean, I can't really run to d5, because I can't go to the c file, but I can just go to g4, and h5, king g5, I will just start running this way. And king e8, I mean, now it's already move 40 for me. I just made some 40th move, and then I think here it was quite comfortable to win. I mean, I don't think there's too much margin of error. Like if you play a decent move, a decent plan, you will win the game. I mean, I just tried to do it immediately, yeah, like attacking the pawns and running with the king. I think he probably would have liked to see king e6 and then maybe something like bishop f2, but I mean, again, I feel like it's more of a theoretical chance. Yeah, it's more like what is a chance to pose issues for me, because I think even this will be winning, but king c6 I liked even more, because now let's say if the checks continue, I can block with rook d5, bishop d5. And okay, rook d3, bishop g6. Yeah, I mean, I think rook g3, I will also have f5. Yeah, at this point it's just very winning. I know I missed the mate in 2 here, but yeah, I mean, for some reason during the game I didn't see it. I don't know why. I mean, I was like,
we were discussing. You probably just calculate so many complicated lines. How do you want to push the pawns?
I did the same line with rook check first, yeah. Because afterwards he also started to giving the checks, and I calculated with rook c3, king d5, and then it's not mate. And anyway, I just calculated that he will have to give check because I threatened mate. Yeah, for some reason then I saw that I threatened back with rook b8, king e7, f6, king e6, rook e8, and then he has to give checks, and it will be the same as I calculated, which is why I played f5. But yeah, I mean, luckily, at least at this point, it didn't really matter that much. Yeah,
yeah, of course.
Now just the pawns are kind of unstoppable. Yeah. And okay, I think now it's we'll run through already.
Well, Vincent, with 3 rounds already in this in the classical portion of the GMT, your current leader over overall rankings. Last year didn't go so well for you here. How do you feel yourself now today, this year in Biel?
Yeah, very nice. It has begun pretty good for me. I mean, the rapid was, at least for me, a very good result. I mean, the first game I felt a bit shaky. Yesterday was, I would say, more or less normal, and today was a very nice game. I mean, the opening, of course, you know, in these games you need some kind of advantage to win the game, and I think today it really was the opening, after which I had already a nice position, and then he immediately got into complications that didn't end up well for him, so he didn't really get to play his normal chess.
The question to you regarding today's date, we have the International Chess Day. How do you think, how many 2700 or strong Super Grandmasters have you won on this day previously? Because I think every time you played, it was probably here in Biel, for at least for the last 4 or 5 years.
But I have really no idea how many players I beat here. I mean, I would say 2020, there's a quite fair chance that I won a game on this day, but I have no idea. I don't really know when I...
There is a question to you from the audience. They are asking, what do you think, what is the best way to loosen up after the game or after the tournament?
I would say this really depends on yourself. I mean, I have heard people that like to sleep the whole day, people that need to go running or do sports for many hours a day. Some people also like some relaxing things like, I don't know, spa or swimming. And I mean, for me, normally it's kind of a mixture of sport and sleeping, but I think it's really different for everyone.
Okay, thank you so much, Vincent, for your time, for showing the game, and we wish you good luck for the next round of the Classical.
Thank you very much.